Hi, it's Barry Neale here. I'd like to invite you to my upcoming webinar on weight loss mastery. If you're a hypnotherapist or an NLP practitioner and you've been struggling to help your clients lose weight, then this is the webinar for you, because I'm going to be teaching you the secrets that I've learned over a huge long career where I've helped thousands and thousands of people lose weight and reach their goals quickly and easily. And you'll learn in this webinar exactly those tools that you can use with your next client so that you can help them lose weight and change their lives. So let's look at some of the things that you're going to be learning on this webinar. The first thing is really important, and that's to set really good outcomes. But it's not just about that. What we need to do is we need to chain their values to the outcome. In other words, what's important to them? Why is that important? And really get the levels of motivation going by chunking up and going higher and higher until we get these high level values and linking that to the outcome frame so that it becomes a must, not just a should, that change becomes a must. If you can do that, then you're a huge way there already, because so many people know they should change, they might want to, but it's not a must. We want to get it so it's a must. So by chaining the values to their outcome, we can really help them on that way. There's also another thing that's really important about outcomes, and that is the difference between end goal outcomes and process outcomes. There's a huge difference. If you don't know what that difference is, you'll learn that here, because if you get it wrong, it's going to really screw up your success. So we're going to cover that as well. The second thing we need to look at is reframing. The reality is, if your clients were 100% congruent about losing weight, then they wouldn't need you. They'd just be losing the weight. If right now 100% of them didn't want to lose weight, then again, they wouldn't need you, because why could they care? So when you get a client in for weight loss, there's always going to be some sort of incongruence. There's going to be some sort of parts conflict going on. And we need to take care of that straight away, because otherwise they'll sabotage their work. It's not uncommon for people to have unconscious reasons why they're overweight. We need to find out what they are, find out what the intention is behind all that, and then reframe them so that they can get that same payoff from something else. And we were going to be covering the exact techniques of how you can do that. So we don't need to be going back in the past and doing regression and having the client screaming and bawling and things like that. What we need to do is just to find out what's important, what that part that's causing them to be overweight. Why is it doing it? What's important to it? And have it agree to do something else. If we do that, they lose weight easily and they're 100% congruent to reaching their outcomes. The next thing we need to look at is emotional eating. The reality is most people are okay for a lot of the time, but then something happens. They either get stressed, they get lonely, they get emotional some way, and that's when they turn to food. And so we need to find out what those emotions are and then give them some tools or change that response so that when that comes up, they're not going to turn to food. They're going to be far more resourceful and do something else instead. So we need to take care of emotional eating. And again, that doesn't mean we have to go all the way back in the past and have them relive all those horrible things. All we need to do is to change what they're doing now. And if we do that, get them more resourceful in that situation, then it becomes really, really easy. Then we want to look at compulsions. Because some people are under the mistaken idea that, this weight loss is not about food, that it's always some emotional garbage from the past. Well, maybe, but the reality is a lot of people, there's going to be compulsions. You can have people who are, they're okay for 95% of their eating habits, but there's just one thing like chocolate or wine or Starbucks or something like that they have an absolute compulsion to do. And they just can't seem to stop themselves from doing that. We're going to learn some techniques that you can use with your next client so that if that comes up, you can knock that out straight away. And if you do that, they can lose weight easily. If someone's got an addiction to chocolate and they're eating 3, 4, 5 bars of chocolate a day, and you knock that out, you're there, you've done it. So it doesn't have to be complicated. So we're going to learn about how you can deal with compulsions quickly, easily, and effectively. Then we need to be installing new behaviours. It's all very well taking away all the negative stuff, but we need to put something in its place. So we need to have a technique to install new behaviours, not just tell them, okay, now just from this moment on, drink a glass of water, go for a walk, things like that. No, we're going to actually install it into the unconscious mind so that it happens automatically. They don't even have to think about it. If they have to think about it, it's not going to happen. So we want to be installing this using various techniques that literally practice that into the brain and become automatic, so that when they go home and they're in that context, they will automatically start doing those new behaviours. So we want to look at those as well. Now, I don't know why I've left this part to the last, because really it's really up number one. We're going to have to look at motivation. Motivation is extremely important. We need to have a way of pumping up their motivation. We need to be able to look at what they don't want and pump that up so they get them moving. But if you only use away from motivation, it's only going to be short term. So aversion type work doesn't have lasting success. You can use that to get them moving, but then you've got to push them in the direction. So we want to look at motivation and how we can really motivate their clients. We're going to use techniques from NLP to really pump up their motivation so that it really becomes something they absolutely want to do, and they really feel compelled to do it. And they'll, if they're having a good day or a bad day, they will still be motivated to do whatever it takes to reach their goals. So motivation is really key. Then we're going to look at exercise. Now, a lot of people will tell you, oh yeah, you've got to exercise and you've got to go aerobics, you've got to do swimming, you've got to do all these things. The reality is exercise is not the be-all and end-all of weight loss. In fact, it's only a minimal part. But we do want them to exercise because that will give them health benefits. But what we don't want them to do is to be working out in the gym 6 days a week or doing aerobics and swimming and burning themselves out, because what that will do will put their body under more stress. That will cause the cortisol levels to increase, which blocks weight loss. So we need to be really careful with exercise and make sure that they're doing it correctly and in a way that's not going to cause them further problems, because exercise can be a double-edged sword when it comes to weight loss. We're also going to be looking at new technology, because this new technology with things like Zoom have given us opportunities that we just haven't had before, because we can now make programs of one-on-one sessions and group sessions really easily. In the past, if you wanted to do that, that would have cost you huge amounts of money on rent, because you need like one-on-one rooms and you need group rooms, you need a reception area. You don't need that anymore. We got Zoom. So we can create really powerful combinations of one-on-one sessions and group sessions and package those together to much longer term programs that we can sell to the clients, which will really help them lose weight. Because if you think you're just going to do 1 or 2 sessions or 2 or 3 sessions and the person's going to lose 10 stone, you're going to be out of luck. This is a coaching program, so we need to really keep track of them over a period, and Zoom helps us do that really easy. So this is the webinar that we're going to be doing. It's going to be 2 hours long. We are going to go into it. There's going to be plenty of times for questions. If you've ever been on my webinar before, you know I'm not worried about people asking awkward questions, because you know what, I've been there, I've done it. I'm not going to suggest that I've got all the answers, but I'll do everything I can to answer the question, because I've made more mistakes than most. So I know some of the things that will work and some of the things that don't work. So if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to take them. So this will be a 2-hour webinar. You'll get all the handouts, all the email backup. If you have any questions at any point in time, you can just drop me an email. I'll be more than happy to help if I can. So 2-hour webinar, it's gonna be great. Please sign up now, because like previous ones, they always sell out and then people end up being disappointed. So if this is something you think about doing, please sign up now, and I hope to see you soon. So have fun, have a great day, and I'll see you soon.